Shoshin is a state of mind of a beginner. The mind of a beginner is pristine and open to learning. Every new knowledge acquired is valuable because the beginner has none or little prior knowledge. The mind is hungry for information and receives information as it is without applying any filters or interpretations. We were sitting beside the campfire. The sky was lit by the stars, and we could hear the stream some distance from our camp. Soft sounds of jungle creatures, a gentle breeze, and the crackling of the fire made our moment near the tent. I wanted to tell my students about the states of mind a martial artist should learn. There is a concept in Zen known as Shoshin, which means beginner's mind. Shoshin refers to the idea of letting go of your preconceptions and having an attitude of openness when studying a subject. When you're a true beginner, your mind is empty and open. You're willing to learn and consider all inputs of information like a child discovering something for the first time. As you develop knowledge and expertise, however, your mind naturally becomes more closed. You tend to think that you know how to do this and that your way is better than other people, and you become less open to new information. There's a danger that comes with expertise. We tend to block the information that disagrees with what we had learned previously and yield to the information that confirms our current approach. We think we are learning, but in reality, we are detaching from new information and conversations, waiting until we hear something that matches up with our current philosophy or previous experience, and selectively picking parts of information to justify our current beliefs and behavior patterns. Most people don't want to learn something new, they just want recognition of the knowledge they possess. Think about this. So the problem is that when you become an expert, you actually need to pay more attention, not less. Why? Because when you are already familiar with 98% of the information on a topic, you need to listen very carefully to pick up the remaining 2%. As adults, our prior knowledge blocks us from seeing new things afresh. Zen master Shunryo Suzuki said, "In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities. But in the expert's mind, there are very few possibilities." So how do we go about rediscovering our beginner's mind? It's important to listen. It's impossible for you to listen to someone else when you are talking. So step back and let go of the need to contribute by saying more during a conversation. Step back every now and then and just observe and listen. Number 2. Let go of the need to win every argument. A few years ago, I read an article about becoming less competitive as time goes on. It said, "Others don't need to lose for me to win." This is a philosophy that fits well with the idea of Shoshin. If you're having a conversation and someone makes a statement that you disagree with, try releasing the urge to correct them. They don't need to lose the argument for you to win. Letting go of the need to prove a point opens the possibility for you to learn something new. Approach it with a place of curiosity. Isn't that interesting? They look at it in a totally different way, even if you're right and they are wrong. Doesn't matter. You can walk away satisfied even if you don't have the last word in every conversation. There is a story often told in the old style martial arts classes. There was a man, let's call him Jim, who was an expert in martial arts, having learned many different styles. He approached a grandmaster who was the founder of a training system. The master bowed, smiled, and said, "You asked to see me." Jim immediately stood up, bowed, and said, "Yes, sir. I've practiced for many years. I know a lot of styles. I have a lot of knowledge in martial arts and now I'm thinking of joining your school. Now the master seemed a little confused and asked, You know a lot of styles? He asked. Well, said Jim, I've practiced a lot of styles and I have many questions for you. My first question is, why should I join and practice your style? To this, the master said, I don't know. Jim said, Well, what I mean is, what is so great about your style? The master smiled and said quietly, Nothing. Jim was becoming a little upset at that point. No, I mean, what makes your style better than other styles? In response, the master pointed to the wall with the photographs and said, These are great masters from many different disciplines. It doesn't matter what style you practice, much more important are the reasons you practice. What these great ones have in common is that they all saw their art as not just a fighting system, but understood that martial arts is a path to help strengthen your mind, body, and spirit so they can defeat their internal demons. Jim thought about it. For years, he had been looking for the greatest style, feeling that if he could find it, it would turn him into a great champion, a great fighter, a great martial artist. But he realized that he needed to examine his motives for his practice. Now it seemed that the first step in being a great martial artist was to see his practice as more than just a fighting system, to understand that it is a discipline that can lead to self-mastery and self-knowledge. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Thank you.